If you have been following along with my seasonal wardrobe analysis, then one of the brands that you'll know that has continued to show up every season is Goelia, and today in partnership with them I wanted to do another edit of my top 10 pieces that you can find on the site right now, as I know how much you all loved the last one. I am going to do a companion piece on my website with all of the sizing information and exact measurements, as I know how helpful this has been for you all when I've been sharing any sort of brand review. And if you aren't familiar with Goelia, I hope you really love this little introduction, as their pieces are so beautiful. They have a really good mix of casual basics, workwear appropriate staples, really pretty floral feminine dresses, in addition to classic timeless wool cashmere coats, which are an absolute standout for the brand. And of course I do have my discount code, which is Jamie10, and this is a great one as it is stackable, so you can stack this on top of any other promotions they have running and it will get you an additional 10% off. I'm pretty sure they have a really good sale on at the moment too, so I'll have all of that information down in the description box along with links to everything that I shared. So I want to dive right into it with what is probably my favorite piece, and it's kind of funny looking at this edit. It's all very black and white like I am today, but I've really gone for those items that I feel are versatile, that you could work into your wardrobe and wear many different ways. So of course we're going to start off with my favorite piece, which really is a basic, but to me this is an elevated basic, the epitome of it. It is a black tang, but on the surface it might look very plain, but when you get up close you can really appreciate the details. It is ribbed, but the rib is not just one way. So it has a vertical rib and then it also has a diagonal rib across the waist, which adds in the subtle element of contrast. Then this next detail isn't visible on the hanger, but when it's worn, you can see that there is this small slit here on the right shoulder. And I love that one. That's an asymmetrical detail, but also it reveals this little element of skin, which feels very nicely balanced against the fact that it's a mock neck design and you're otherwise very covered up. This is a great work to weekend piece. You can wear this to the office with a beautiful pair of tailored trousers, and then the way that I have been wearing it more casually has been with some high-waisted jeans and then a little jacket or a blazer thrown over the top. But great little layering piece, and you could also wear a contrasting color underneath that will then peek through that little slash detail. Very chic. The second item I had to share with you are these elevated track pants. I feel like we're seeing a lot of these at the moment, and they are just really fun to style because they are inherently sporty, and it's great to add in that little element of friction to your outfits, and I feel like these really allow you to play around with that. These are made from a medium weight acetate, which has a beautiful silky sort of appearance, and it means that they drape really nicely. Of course you have the kind of ticker stripe down the side, it has pockets, and then a really lovely little detail is the fact that these have a split at the hem too, which means they splay really nicely over your shoes, elasticated waistband, and then you do have the little metal trim at the ends of the ties as well, which again just adds that sense of elevation to the piece. I did size up in these to a medium. I quite often do like to go up one size in Goelia trousers just to get that sense of ease. Not always, but especially in a trouser like this where I want it to be a little bit more relaxed, I found that that has kind of been the perfect fit for me. Then we move on to item number 3, and this is a really fun top, especially for work or even just an evening out. This is this lovely caped effect blouse, and you can see that it just has such lovely movement to it. It has a sheen to the fabric, which means that it catches the light really brilliantly. It has 2 layers, so your arms actually peek out through the sleeve here, and then you have the fabric which lays over the top. It feels kind of quite dramatic, but also really elegant without any of the fuss. And I especially like this as a work top, again just worn with some really beautiful flowy trousers, but also a pencil skirt would be really chic. If you're opting for trousers, I'd probably go with a nice statement belt, something with a gold or a silver buckle at least, so you can really create that additional vertical break. But you can also wear this one loose, but you can see it has a split detail at the back, and that's kind of what gives the top such wonderful movement. I got this in my usual size small, and I will say that this is cut a little bit more generously. So stick with your usual size if you like the way it fits on me. I always used to joke that I never met a spot that I didn't like, and of course when I saw this polka dot silk dress, I thought it was a beautiful piece and one that I really wanted to share in this 10 item edit. This is quite a classic cut and very universally flattering. So it has a scoop neckline, and then you also have an A-line silhouette which you can cinch in at the waist. And one of the details that I really appreciate, you can see a lot of care has been taken to ensure that you can get your desired fit, is that there are 2 belt loops here at the waist. And this is great because often standardized belt loops don't fall at the perfect point for most people, the optimal point. There are also pockets on the hip, which is great. And another detail that I love about this is that it does come with a little slip for modesty. It's quite a lightweight silk, so I would say that maybe if you put it up to the light, you might be able to see your hand through it, but I think you can see in the cutaways it looks very opaque and you can't even get a glimpse of the little slip that I'm wearing. And what's good about that is you can also use that slip for any of your other skirts too. It can be worn with or without the waist tie as well, which is really nice. I love having options, and it really allows you to play up the way that the dress looks. Also a really nice one to layer over the top of a merino long sleeve knit if you need a little bit of extra warmth, and you can pair it with some tights. Now, the next 2 pieces I want to talk about together, or at least I styled them together because that was sort of my intention when I saw them on the website. So the first one is this beautiful white sleeveless blazer. I especially love this worn with a matching trouser for a very clean, effortless, minimal but sophisticated outfit. It's a great option for the office if you can bare shoulders. I know every workplace is different, but here in Australia that is appropriate in most corporate workplaces because it does get really hot here. I like that you kind of also have options with this too, right? So you can wear it as a top done up, either with trousers or with a skirt, either something that is really flowy or more of a pencil style skirt, but you could also wear it worn open too, because in the summer months we're often thinking about how we can add in that dimension to our outfits, make them feel a little bit more interesting, and it's usually that third piece that allows us to do that. So one thing that I really started doing over the summer just been was I was wearing my sleeveless blazers like this, just open over a singlet and shorts, and instantly I felt more dressed up and a little bit more like me. I thought this was beautiful. I opted for this in the size medium, and I should have said the polka dot dress I got in the size small. And I think it's the perfect fit on me because it really just glides over the hips really nicely. Then the trousers that I opted to pair with it, they're not the exact same color, but I love a tonal moment, and I think that these are very complementary shades of white. These here are in a soft acetate, very kind of silky and flowy. They have that beautiful drape to them, a fluid wide leg drape trouser, which is just absolutely classic, and going all the way to the floor, they are going to extend the look of your legs. The detail that I liked about these most is actually the belt loops, and it's very subtle, but to me it makes these feel so special. It's what kind of gives them this particular je ne sais quoi. So the belt loop at the front here actually creates a little bit of a draped waterfall effect over the belt on both sides that are nearest to the buckle. You can see that the belt loops at the back are actually standard, but these very special belt loops at the front, just chef's kiss. I think so chic. These trousers I did size up to a 27, and I feel like they fit really nicely, not too tight at the hips or anything like that. I've got that little bit of extra relaxation through the leg. They do have an elasticated band which is hidden on the inside for extra comfort. Stripes are one of those things Goelia does really well, and you will have seen this in a previous video, but I really wanted to highlight that here is one of my top 10. It is a singlet in a cable knit design, and the actual fabrication, it has a very slight subtle sheen to it. Kind of feels a little bit collegiate because of the cable knit, and this to me is a perfect top option if you are someone with a shorter torso, as it is more of a regular cropped length. So you can see on me as someone with a long torso, it just meets the waistband of my high-waisted trousers. The other detail I really like on this is a slightly dropped capped sleeve. I think that is really nice as it does give you that little bit of additional coverage, and again, it's these little details that make things feel a bit more special. This one I opted for in the size small, so I would say it fits true to size. It also has this lovely little keyhole design at the back too, but definitely worth checking out any of their striped tanks as they are very good basics both for work and weekend. Another pair of pants, and these are what I call my fun party evening pants. They are a velvet trouser. Again, one you will have seen me share before. These also have that sort of taping down the side with a ladder design, so it feels a little bit more subtle. In the velvet, they are quite luxurious to the touch, and what's great about these is that they are very wrinkle resistant, which is good if you are after items in your wardrobe that are going to be quite low maintenance. These ones I did get in my usual size 26, and one of the reasons I did that is because velvet is quite a soft fabrication. It usually has a little bit of give, but also I knew at the back here that there was going to be this elasticized panel, which is good because it gives you that little bit of extra freedom, especially if you're someone who does bloat a little bit. They have that lovely fluid drape trouser silhouette, which is just so flattering and really leg lengthening, not cut too wide through the leg though, so a good option even for petites because there's not going to be too much fabric that it feels like you're swimming in trouser. But they are absolutely stunning too. This is another one of those items that you're really just going to have to see on, but it is a beautiful black silk blouse, and again, the details were what got me. I love the fact that it has this dropped shoulder draped sleeve effect, which kind of covers the top of your arms really nicely. It has a V neckline, but it's not cut so low, so it's actually very modest, and that makes this a good contender for wearing to the office. The detail that makes this very special is that it has a twisted effect here in the front, and then you also have the smocking at the back as well. Now, one thing I will mention is that if you are wearing this with a high-waisted pair of pants, you may end up getting a little bit of midriff showing, so I would recommend wearing this with a black fitted tank underneath, just so that you can protect your modesty and not kind of flash any of your midriff or your torso to your work colleagues by accident. This particular top, I would say, does run a bit more true to size. It's a little bit more generously cut as it actually doesn't fit super tight around the waist, so if you did want that to kind of snatch you in a little bit more, I would recommend sizing down one, but I am wearing this in the size small. But such a lovely silk, and it also has that nice kind of shine that you get from silk fabrics. Then the final piece that I wanted to share as part of this 10 item edit is of course one of Goelia's little tweed jackets, and this is something that they also do really well, and if you are on the hunt for one of these ladylike jackets, you should have a look through their entire range because they've got a whole slew of colors and options. This one I was drawn to because of the collar detail. I thought that this slight angular element felt very architectural. It also has a silver thread running through the tweed, which catches the light brilliantly, and I think that is such a fun element, very, very subtle. And then of course we also have these lovely buttons as well, which add lots of texture, and then they're in a champagne gold, so they are quite a soft touch on the jacket. It is fully lined too. I personally like wearing this all buttoned up, and I think it looks very chic when worn with a silky skirt, but also could do trousers. Wear this with a little white tee or a tank and some jeans for the weekend if you want it to be a little bit more casual, but this is one of those styles that instantly elevates an outfit and makes it feel a little bit more special. And I did size up in this one to a medium. That's generally what I do with a lot of Goelia's jackets. So that wraps up my edit of my favorite 10 pieces on the Goelia website right now, and I do implore you to go and watch my previous video, which I'm going to link up in the cards if you want to go check that out, because there are so many gems that I share in that one too, and a lot of them are evergreen styles for the brand. But thank you so much for watching, for spending some of your day with me, and I hope that you found this really useful, especially if you are just exploring Goelia and aren't really sure where to start. I am going to have that website post linked down below so you can get all the item measurements as well as some additional little pictures of each piece, and of course you can use my code Jamie10 to get that extra 10% off your order. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for spending some of your day with me. If you did like it, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up, as it does really help me out, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. See you very soon. Bye.